on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show.
Yes. Do people and Nigerians across the world, I want to salute you all at this time. And I want to thank you for joining us on this broadcast. This is Hard Gist on the Comrade Show. My name is Comrade Lante Oriahe. If I'm not mistaken, today is Wednesday, the 21st of July 2021. And I want to quickly encourage everyone who is joining me to please help share this broadcast because there is a matter that we must talk about. We can no longer be quiet about it because as we speak, the matter is gaining momentum. More voices are beginning to come in. And unfortunately, it is not speaking to the unity of the Edo people. Unfortunately, it's a matter that is putting bricks on peace and progress of the Edo people. And we must all take a stand. I've looked at it. There's so much disdain, as a matter of fact, from some of the commentaries that have come, into this matter. But everybody, as far as we are Edo people, we must take a stand. It's a trend that is dangerous. It's a trend that is unnecessary. It's a trend that is capable of causing a lot more than, the value we give to it. To some people, it may just be some sort of entertainment. But to some others, it's a matter that's a lot more serious than that. Now, I'm going to try to be, to navigate this as carefully as possible. As much as possible, but to make us understand that this is one matter we cannot afford to ignore. So long as we are Edo people, we are from Edo State, irrespective of the divide, irrespective of the tribe, irrespective of the creed or religion, whatever. So long as we claim Edo State as our state, we owe it its duty to take a side on this matter. We cannot be passive about it. It will be very, very bad. Now, I'm going to speak to every side of this matter, but not to keep us at all in suspense. A few days ago, I'm not going to play the video. I distaste it. I don't want to dignify it in any way. I saw a video by one young man, an Edo man, from the way he spoke. The video showed to me that, please, if you are there, share this broadcast. This is a very important subject matter. From the way he spoke, it showed to me that the man is an Isha man. And of course, his words they were very unguided. I mean, that is the mildest way I can put it. They were so much unguided. He threw jibes at the palace. He said a lot of things that I want to consider, despicable, as it were. And after that, the video itself elicited some reactions here and there that I come across. And just within the last 48 hours or so, I began to see some other videos, giving the young man support, emboldening the young man and stuff like that. And again, early hours of today, I don't know, about this afternoon or thereabouts, I saw another video of the young man himself instead of probably expecting somebody to have, gone and take a second look at their actions, and you expect them to want to, quickly, retrace their steps. But the guy was a bit more emboldened. And of course, in fact, this second one, I did not listen to the end of it. But I look at it, I saw the comments, from the comment section and so many other things. I thought I'd come out to speak because the matter is gaining some traction. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I want to start from a very strong establishment. And the establishment is this. None of us alive today, okay, was consciously alive when Benin Kingdom was formed, when its origin began. There is nobody alive today that can speak to the origin of the kingdom. None. Okay? This kingdom, Benin Kingdom, it's a kingdom that has, been in existence for very many centuries. As a matter of fact, people do not have clear records of when and how, the Benin people, began their origin. I know that some research, some people are involved in some research and are trying to find out, the cosmology of the people, the cosmogony, and so many other things and all that. But now, over the years, based on recorded history, either by way of oral tradition or, books already written and all of that, the Benin Kingdom, the Benin people, when I mean Benin people right now, I am not just making reference to the Edo speaking part of it, the Benin speaking part of it. I'm making reference to everybody today that is called Edo State. Okay? Over the course of time, okay, history tells us that we grew a very strong bond as a people, as one indivisible people. Culturally, in every way, we are very much related, children of the same parents, and all of that. Probably one of the things that research should actually do is to find out, I don't know about this, if it's already there, I may not have come across it, is to find out how, we now have this number of languages we have right now as far as Edo State is concerned. At what point did it begin to change, to get amended, even though they are closely related? Sometimes when there are some part of Ishan people where they are speaking Ishan, who is Benin would easily just understand. The same way almost every Ishan person understands every Benin word, as it were. The same thing goes across the other parts, Kukuruku, Onwa, like that. So that somehow, okay, everybody as far as Edo State is concerned, they are children of the same ancestry, the same parents. Okay? And that parenthood is what has, over the course of time, giving birth to the bond that we have had as a people. Well, that is one part of it. The second part of it is this. In the whole of Africa, one of the most highly acclaimed, people in the world on the global map, they are the Benin people. When I'm talking of the Benin people, I am not talking of just the Edo-speaking people or the Benin-speaking people. I'm talking of everybody connected to, Benin land. It was called Benin Kingdom, not just a kingdom for Edo-speaking people. It was a kingdom for Ishan people. It was a kingdom for Afemai people. It was a kingdom for Urobo people. It was a kingdom for Ijo people. It was a kingdom for so many peoples, as it were, all across. Today, geography and location and stuff like that, they've sort of confined us to a geographical space where a few of us now reside. But Benin Kingdom actually, extends far beyond this geographical location we're talking about right now. And that is why some people in Togo, on a yearly basis, will still trace their own history down to this particular kingdom. The other day, the governor of Rivers State, openly told the world that his ancestry is from Benin. His ancestry is from Benin. Okay? He's not ashamed of that because he knows the story. That is on one side. Then the other part of it, another thing that has made us bonded this much, which we cannot push aside. Please, if you are there, share this broadcast. This is a very important subject matter. That thing that has provided this bond, okay, it's our identity. It's our rallying point. It is something that is so integral. If we lose it, we lose who we are. It is the whole essence of the Beninese. Whether you are Ishan, whether you are Onwan, you are Afeman, you are this, it is your essence. And that is the palace of the Yoruba of Benin. Now, when I talk about the palace, I'm not referring to an individual. I'm referring to an entity. An entity that is being led by an Oba. An entity, okay, comprising of all of us. The Oba's palace is like the house of representative of the people. The Oba palace has got chiefs, has got different departments, cutting across every people of the land, headed under the direction and leadership of a God-sent Oba. Now, we have had our history. We have had our history, long-standing history and tradition, and all of that. Now, the role the palace had played historically, and the palace is still playing, is a major tool that has kept us together as we have been over time. Now, there are no people in Nigeria that are like us. There are none. And I can tell you one thing, that if there's any drastic decision to be taken, and that decision, for instance, emanates from the palace, okay, it gets the blessing of the people. There will be no going back on that decision. As we speak, we have seen agitations from different parts of, what's it called, Nigeria. Okay, I don't want to mention the different parts, but you already know. People want to succeed, they want this, they want that, they want that. You know, there's been series of agitation. As we speak, the Nigerian government right now, you know, they have fortified themselves, you know, in the art of capturing, you know, and imprisoning people who are speaking for justice. I don't want to, let me know, I will not deviate, because I already know what we about. But the reason why some of these agitations may not have seen the light of the day is because if you watch some of these people, this sect of people making the agitations, okay, the kind of system they have historically to date, it's not a system that, you know, that breeds that sort of unity, as it were. It's not a system that builds or give itself that rallying point that everybody can refer to. But if that system had been operational, like there's one rallying point of man, this is like a deity to the people. This is like, you know, it's like that essence that people can identify with. The struggle will be easier. And this is the truth. It is one of the major reasons why my brothers in the East are having challenges, even in their own struggle, which is supposed to be our collective struggle, you know, and all of that. Now, why are they having challenges? They're having challenges because somehow, you know, there's so much fragmentation. Okay, this one is loyal to this, the other one is loyal to that, the other one is loyal to that. You understand what I'm saying? You even go to some places, they have, you know, a paramount chief or a paramount ruler. Okay, predominantly they don't respect that paramount ruler. Everybody seems to want to look at the way of the person who has more money to spend and all of that. So there is so much. So There is nothing that comes from any source that everybody can really rally around, because that source, that centralized source is not really there. So it's sort of a decentralized system of, arrangement. Though uniquely, they have their advantages, as it were. But our own is purely centralized. It's like a pyramid. There is a base where everybody is, and there are structures leading to the top. So it a come. It's like a pyramid. This is what has kept us together. And for those who may not know, Benin Empire, okay, the origin of the Benin so far has been traced to like 300 years before Christ. That means the Benins have been existing like 300 years before Christ was born. This is what archaeological facts, so far have put together. And they are still trying to trace if it's actually, beyond that. But so far, that is what some records are showing us and all of that. Now, a people, if this is true, these records, that we're talking about, if they are true, a people that have lived that long, okay, and they are still together, I think this generation, we need to seriously use our tongue to count our teeth. Everything may not have been perfect. The history itself may not have been perfect. There have been times where there had been different issues here and there, but somehow that rallying point kept the people together. Today, everywhere you go, you hear of Benin Kingdom. Benin Kingdom. I'm going to play a short video just now to give some bite to this before I proceed further. There's a point I'm going to, and that point is that the Benin man says, if we not chop pounded yam because of pounded yam, we go because of the soup chopper. Now, for somebody to just carry his camera and begin to speak against the palace of the Oba of Benin, it's not just being misguided, it is honestly diabolic, and it is a dangerous trend. Why am I saying that? The palace you are speaking against, okay, there are millions of people who pay obeisance to this palace. There are millions of people who still trace their roots to this palace and the people. Now, if for whatever reason you are hot, you are angry, you are this, you have some disagreement and all of that, your attempt to settle your disagreement or whatever is making you angry, and you begin to throw jabs at the palace, what you are indirectly doing is to insult everybody whose loyalty is with the palace. And that is unacceptable. My loyalty is with the palace of the Oba of Benin. So many people's loyalty, they are with the palace of the Oba of Benin. Now, when you just wake up and you begin to try to create an environment of, tussle or problem, try to drive a narrative of Isha versus Benin, then, my brother, you need to sit down and think very, very well. I'm going to speak to a lot of people because I believe in this very, this very axiom that says that, it's part of our own, the Benin, part of one of the parables we make. They tell you that the children who play outside, not be they get the outside. The people who get the outside, then they inside house. So the question is, who is sending this man? Who are those behind him that are making him this emboldened to do this? Is this man just actually just wake up and start speaking for himself, or he has support? He has support. This is why I strongly believe, because whatever you are seeing right now, we must deal with it as quickly as possible. All of us, we must nip it in the bud as quickly as possible. Because the other day, some group of people came out and they were talking about Eastern agenda, Eastern agenda, Eastern agenda. I had spoken on that subject as well, and I did say very clearly that under the normal circumstances, looking at the way governance has been, looking at the architect of what governance has been in the last 20 years, as it were, ideally, I'm speaking to justice right now, okay? Ideally, the next governor of Edo State should be an Asian man. I mean, for the law of equity and balance, I spoke to that. But you see, everything in our life, everything as a people, everything we do, okay, in the life we live, everything is connected. You cannot separate one from the other. By the time you people, I mean, the voice of this young man and those supporting him, by the time you are able to pitch, wahala between the Ishan people and the Edo people, you find out that everything will be connected to it. Now, you Ishan, you Benin, you Afema, you this, you must understand that you are a people who are highly sentimental. I mean, just within the last couple of weeks, we'll be talking about what's it called, artifact. And a lot of people spoke about this on this subject. They did not speak on the terms of reasoning. They spoke on some sort of emotion. People were sentimental, were emotive about it, not because they were able to argue their point, okay? But a lot of people spoke because there's an age-long tradition, and this tradition must not be broken. This tradition must not change. This tradition must be protected, because the real essence of who we are surrounds this tradition. That was what majority of the people spoke on. So nobody was ready to analyze any situation. That is how emotive we are. Now when you now come out, you begin to say, oh, Benin people are this, they are this, Isha must wake up. You want to pitch Isha against me, my Isha brothers and my sisters. I want to tell you, and this is the truth. There is nobody in Edo State, okay, that will claim superiority over any other person or group. There is no group in Edo State that will come out and claim superiority over any group. In Edo State, we are a symbol of unity, and we must maintain that. We must not allow anybody to drive the disunity amongst us. We must not allow any group of people to be able to create problem amongst us. You see, this is one of the reasons why some of us have not been too vocal about the issue of Nigeria must divide. Yes, we talk about it as an option, but it's not really what we desire. Because when you look at it right now, okay, Nigeria is like a wider space, because this music these young people are beginning to play right now is going to begin to resonate with what is being played in Nigeria today. Because some people are already saying, if not so, make everybody do their own. We will not have an Asian state. We will not have an Afemai state. We are, and we always will be, we will remain the people of Edo State, the united people of Great Benin Kingdom. That is who we are. So our rally point must be on that. If there is a case of injustice perceived anywhere, it should be flagged off. It should be addressed. It should be discussed. It should be dealt with and answered and responded to. This politics of dangerous division is going to create a problem. I see it if we do not nip it in the bud. Which means we need to, every political leader in Nigeria, in Edo State, every elder in Ishan land must be able to speak to rebuke those voices and speak to the unity, peace, and progress of Edo land. But if you don't, I tell you the truth, okay? Was it It wasn't Winston Churchill. I think it was Martin Luther King. I think it was Martin Luther King who said, he said, in the end, we will remember not the voice of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. That's a very powerful statement. Because while this matter is cooking right now, it's essential we start hearing people who matter in the society speak against this growing division. Now, let's look at other aspects of this matter. I have a friend of mine who is from Owan, who is married to Ishan. They are raising children, partly Owan, partly Ishan. I have a number of people who are Benin's, who are married to either Ishan women or they are married to Ishan men. And they are raising families. So, where actually is the line of this division that some people want to cook as a narrative for our future? Look, we need to be seriously guided because if you call your own nonsense, the one who doesn't own it will use it as rubbish. The dignity that Edo Benin Kingdom has maintained all these years to date was not just because of the exploit of our great obas alone, it's been because of the way we carry our palace, all of us collectively. Because of the respect we accord the palace. Because without the people, there is no palace. Because of this, what the palace symbolizes and the attention we give to it. Are we alone in this? We are not. Come to the United Kingdom. Come to the United Kingdom. The Queen of England is being celebrated by her people. They are the monarchy. They know the role of the monarchy in the life of their people. They know that this monarchy, is a major essence of the British people. It is their description. In the name of the Queen, in the name of Her Royal Majesty, it is their, that Royal Majesty, you know they put food for anybody table like that, no? You know they put food on the table. Even some things that government does, they will say child benefits. Now government they pay every all children when they UK. But they tell you, now the Queen, now they pay them. Now the relevance of the monarchy in Britain is such that, in fact, it cannot be overemphasized. It's the exact same way ours has been. Now, for these young people, some of them don't even really know where we are coming from. I mean, we've had a case of one young man on Facebook and YouTube who regularly, I don't watch him anyway, but occasionally I've come across, him talking, and it's very unfortunate, but he's been a lone voice. Right now, with what is beginning to happen right now, people are beginning to we cannot make this fester, not in that land. And this young man talking about right now, it's not in Benin. He lives outside of Benin. Okay, he's there. He's doing whatever he's doing. Okay, no problem. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't agree with him. And what he fails to understand, everybody listening, is that when you insult, a father, what you have done is to insult all his children, his wife, and the entire family, and that's what you've done. That's what you've done. And for another person to come out and take side with you, some people are coming out on social media to take side. Man, let's be guided. I want to appeal to us. I look, man, the era we are right now, there is no better time for us to crave for the unity of our people than now. There's no better time. There's no better time. And again, like I said earlier, right now, everybody who matter should speak to this matter. Everybody who matter should speak to peace, progress in Edo State. It's important because let us not lose what we have. The pride of the average Edo man is the royal palace. It's the royal palace. It's the royal palace. You may not agree with one thing today or the other, okay? But the palace has proven to be more than any individual at any given point in time. Because individuals come, they go, the palace has remained consistent. Why do we want to join any voice to want to, demean this larger than life entity that we call our own? This larger than life entity that we all respect. Edo people, please. Some people, Afemi people, let us not allow this one to fester. If it does, it's going to be very, very bad. If it does, many of us will not have the mouth to argue for anything agenda in the future. If it does, so many things can no longer happen. That's why I say everything is interconnected. I am not threatening, but this is going to be what will happen. Because the people you are dealing with, nobody's going to deal with you on grounds of, reasonable doubt or grounds of reasoning. People are going to deal with you with their emotions. Or where a do you man if you already go. Many people don't go meeting. One thing I will do their mind. I appeal. I stand, strongly on the ground that there is nobody in the Edo State who can claim to be better than any other person. There's none. We are all Edo people. We must see ourselves as that. I have this footage I want to play. Maybe this footage will strike some chord in us. It did strike. And I'll come back. Please, let's take a listen. It's a very short one. Let's take a listen.
The Benin Kingdom or Empire is regarded as one of the oldest and most highly developed states in the coastal hinterlands of West Africa, dating perhaps to the 11th century until it was annexed by the British Empire in 1897. By the 7th century, Europe was aware of a territory in Africa known as Great Benin. The kingdom was identified as larger than Wales, with very wide influence extending west as far as Sierra Leone and south to the Congo River. Two of its colonies westward by the Atlantic Ocean were Lagos and Badagry to Port Novo. Hence, the stretch of the Atlantic Ocean became known in maritime location as the Bight of Benin. Indeed, the empire extended to the boundary between Oyo and Benin in the north, the sea in the south, Asaba in the east, and Lagos in the west, including the Ishangs, Kukurukus, Ekitis, Owos, Ishekiris, the Urobos, Ijos, and the Ondos. The Oba of Benin also had considerable powers in the east on both sides of the Niger. The institution of kingship in Benin is over 10 centuries old, with a break between the Ogiso and Oba dynasty. Historically, about the year 1400, Benin broke away from the elective process of choosing an Oba and declared the present state of primogeniture to ensure that an Oba was succeeded by his eldest son. Everybody in the Benin kingdom is subject to the Oba. The Benins practice the first son-only succession system, as it is in England, and they believe that it is better to have a leader that is selected and challenged and sent by God, devoid of squabbles and human elections. It's a unique succession plan that has been sustained for centuries.
It was a short one, okay, but it's quite instructive. It's instructive because apparently we've come a long way. And we have, the story of Benin, had actually, gone around this world. If you did watch this particular clip I played just now, you did hear, when you hear the bite of Benin, where it is coming from. It is not with the Benin's. When I mean the Benin, I'm not talking of the Benin speaking people. I'm talking of all the people. We didn't name them just now. We are people. We are the United Kingdom of Great Benin. We are United Kingdom, and by the time we put all the kingdoms, when we put all component part of the kingdom together, you find out that we're actually larger than Nigeria, and this is the truth. Now, if we must, I know that there are some group of people right now who are fronting for, now that there are agitations everywhere, people want to seek for self-determination and stuff like that. They are fronting for us to have different groups. We have the United Kingdom of Great Benin. I know we have the Midwest movement. We have all of them from different directions, but everybody chasing the same thing. But none of these things will be realized if we don't stay united as a people. They say a common problem call for common concern. We cannot, with our hand, begin to seek problem from amongst ourselves. It not work now. It not make sense. So when I saw that young man, he did that video. He did another one again. He getting emboldened in the sleep for in this thing. Anybody when one meter man, look, man. Some people voices are behind him. Another woman made one video. Blah 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 blah. Then there's another man, a Benin person who made a video of threat, giving ultimatum and this and that. There is no need for us to hit the environment too much. Please, I have just come out to appeal. I don't know. The tomorrow of Benin Kingdom, of Edo State that I see, is a bright one. It's a beautiful one. And this tomorrow can only be realized if we honestly stay together as a united people. This is why I always try to talk about the need for us to embrace unity of purpose and peace. Everybody should distance themselves from the voice of this man. It is not representative of Ishan people. And that is why I'm saying every Ishan politician, every Ishan, a community leader, every Ishan, a Nogi or whatever, all of you must come out and disassociate yourself from the position of that young man. I think they call him something jokey. Something jokey they call him. You must disassociate yourself from him and from others who want to speak in his favor. Please. This is important because if you are silent and you are quiet, it would mean to many of us that you are the one sending him on this mission. And if that meaning comes across, it can create a lot of problem. It can create a lot of problem. And in the same vein, for the elders we have, people are supposed to be the custodian of our day-to-day existence, of the culture and everything. If there are things that we are not doing all right, because the world is advancing, I'm switching now. If there are things that we are not doing all right, let us review them. So that this harmony can continue. Benin Kingdom was not always like this. Time and time again, the palace itself subjected itself to constant review. The enabling laws that were prevalent in some era, they are no longer prevalent today because the palace has adjusted to time. And that adjustment needs to continue. It needs to continue so that it fits into the time that we are in. And the respect for the palace, will remain sacrosanct. Will remain sacrosanct. I want to say this. I come in peace. But I like to say this. I have had interactions with a few persons around. A number of persons are not happy. They are not happy with some kind of things. I cannot go into any details right now. But people are not happy with some kind of things. They are systemic. Okay? They are systemic. I can't do details because it says so that those who are in position of authority, either as traditional leaders or as a Nogies, as Odionweres, as whatever, people should look at themselves and find out what is it that we, as our own small institution or big institution, or this, what is it that we are doing that the people are not conforming with? So that, but be that as it may, nobody has a right in this lifetime that we are in right now, when you are 40 years old, you are 50 years old, you open your mouth and vomit the kind of worms that this guy was vomiting. Nobody, there is no excuse for it. There is none. Because these voices, if we allow them to grow, about 3 or 4 have joined. Some comments are joining. If we allow it to grow, it will not be good for the tomorrow of Edo State. And we don't need that. Walao. The tomorrow is beautiful, is greater. Greater. Artifact. We are talking about artifact. The history of the Benis, they are in this artifact. The history of the Ishans, they are in this artifact. The history of the Afemais, they are in this artifact. The history of the Owa people, the history of the Kukuruku, they are in this artifact. The history of our people cutting across, they are there. So it is not a one-man matter or a one-tribe matter. It's our collective matter. So I appeal, most conscientiously, we cannot travel this lane. It will be too dangerous. The climb will be too difficult. The steep will be too much to comprehend. I'm just trying to caution myself. I don't want to use I don't want to use derogatory terms or, but what is bad is bad. That young man, something jokey, they call him. Caution yourself. Please, for those people who are around him, all decision leaders, please caution the young man. If anybody wants to try to travel this direction, they should be cautioned immediately, particularly those in that land. Immediately. Because there is nobody alive today that can say he was alive when this race started. There's none. We came to make this. The best we can do is to promote, preserve it in the best possible way for our children's children to equally have something to meet. If you take the palace, just imagine it. Take the palace, the Oba Palace, out of the life of the average Edo State person. Just look at it. Just imagine that we don't have a reference point like this. Imagine the loss of identity. Please, my people, please. We have a lot to protect together. Right now, if there are common enemies we have, okay, they are not Edo people. They are not the palace. If there are common enemies we have, they are people who are doing everything to make sure they impoverish us. There are people who are doing everything to make sure that development, doesn't come to our land. There are people who are doing everything to make sure that we continue to die in the hands of terrorists. These are our common enemies. The system is what we should challenge with every energy we've got. It's what we should challenge. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or you don't know it already, you understand what I'm saying now? Our own foreign reserve under 2 weeks has reduced by more than $2 billion. Under 2 weeks by this government, What they are doing with the money, we don't know. Look at what is happening in the whole system. These are the enemies we have. Edo State election remains one of the most talked about, in fact, it's the most talked about election ever held in Nigeria, like as a transparent election. INEC used what they call e-voting. INEC is trying to use that same e-voting now to organize 2023 elections. The people you elected as representatives from the South, they are the ones who went to eat dinner with the president of Nigeria, collected bribe, they came and vote against that matter. They want us just the way they did it in Jonathan time. They say they are collecting results. They'll be waiting for one vehicle to travel from Kano to Abuja, one from Benin, from Delta to Abuja, so that they can manipulate results anyhow they want. In this day and age, that is where we still are. Your people, your constituent, people you elected as senators, as reps, from the South, they are kicking against it. This is a common enemy that we need to resist. That we will talk about, you will get our support. Let's be guided. Let's be guided. I want to still believe very strongly that that young man has not spoken the mind of the Ishan people. That young man is misguided. He's speaking the mind of people who are pushing him. And like I said, I expect that the leaders of the Ishan communities will rebuke that young man. They will sue for peace, amongst all of us. Edo, Isako, Ishan, all of us, we are one. We are one. So that all of us can truly be one, and we'll chase justice to ensure that our unity, we stand out, as sacrosanct, as it were. So, my people, I said, I said I must talk about this matter as we speak. Look, Nigerians are already fighting themselves. I have this footage. Yeah, but the footage has gone viral. But let us watch. Let us take a listen. Nigerians fighting themselves already because of Nigeria. Let's take a listen.
Do we even know what's up?
I want to speak to you. I want to speak to you people, please. I'm also a Nigerian. I live in Vienna. I seek asylum here. If you touch me, I will call the police on you. If you can't touch me, I will call the police on you. This is not Nigeria. This is not Nigeria. If anyone who touch me will get the police. This is Vienna, Austria. This is not a third world country. This is not a third world country. You motherfuckers, you are representing a government which are killing their people. You cannot be ashamed of yourself. Don't push me. When you touch me, it's strictly here. Do assault. Don't touch me. Go away. This is a democratic nation. This is not a third world. I'm living in Vienna. I pay my tax.
Anyhow, that is a Nigerian man in Austria. Okay, who that his own way of protesting. But it was going about it wrongly. But that tells you really the feelings of our people. That tells you what is going through the mind of our people. He said, why are you providing representation for Nigeria? Why? So right now, we have people in Nigeria who are common enemies because of the policy of governance, because of the implementation, because of the corruption, insecurity, high cost of living. This is a common enemy. This is a common enemy that we can keep talking about. Anyhow, Edo people, I want to encourage everybody. Let's be peaceful. Let's promote unity. Let's continue to rally around ourselves and the palace, and let's not give room for this kind of people who want to create the narrative of division. Let's not do it. And the same way, I want to talk to all those people who, you know, are so misguided. You understand what I'm saying now? You know, everywhere you turn, they are insulting the governor, they are doing this, they are doing that. And the only reason why you are doing that is because of what you don't even understand. Many of you are lost out. I mean, your candidate lost an election, you can't let go. You understand what I'm saying now? I think that the governor of Edo State should be engaged meaningfully. It should be criticized constructively. Not just you come out, throw open insult. So people, they sponsor some video to say governor, they argue with one person. Many nonsense going about. When are we going to stop? Please. When are we going to stop this nonsense? When? Whether you like it or not, Governor Godwin Obaseki is the head of a great institution of state as far as Edo State is concerned. Is the head of a great institution. So as Edo people, the most important thing that we can do is to engage him as constructively as possible to get the best out of his government that will benefit Edo people. Not aimless abuse, vituperations, not aimless. Anyhow, on a light note, Edo people, let me quickly just inform us that in August of this year, Edo State is going to be 30 years old. The creation of Edo State from the defunct Bender State is going to be 30 years old. Edo State was created in 1991. If you are not aware, it's going to be 30 years old in August. I think August 27th, if I'm not mistaken. So, but sometime around August. And many people may not be aware of this. The government of Edo State, has set up a committee, to organize some celebration to mark the event. And, a lot has already gone into that. We have a representative from the diaspora to equally make sure that those in diaspora are carried along. And I'm aware that the diaspora have a committee and they are putting a lot in place. And membership of this committee, they cut across every part of this world. There are people from America, from Canada, from Australia, from New Zealand, from different parts, from the whole of Europe, different countries in Europe, everywhere. They are part of the committee. Everybody just excited in the diaspora, trying to put something together to mark this. I think this is positive. I think it's positive because it enables us to look at where we are coming from, evaluate where we are, and probably plan better for the future, and all of that. So I think it's something that should excite us. What I'm going to show you right now is the official logo of the Edo at 30. Edo at 30 celebration. This is the official logo. A lot is already going in. Wherever you are, I want to encourage you to stay close. You will have a role to play in this. We all do. So let's stay focused. That is the official logo that I just showed you. The more the merrier. For me, I equally made. I did my own Comrade Show logo, the one that I will use for my own personal enjoyment in the course of this whole matter. I can show you. This is my own logo, the Comrade Show logo. This one is the one I'm using to celebrate Edo at 30. I will have my own events that I want to organize as part of the diaspora, engagement. Because we have them by different groups, different countries, everything. So we're actually going to work towards, doing something to mark, the diaspora, the Edo at 30 from the diaspora. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I know that a lot is going on. As the day go by, I'm going to be bringing on, members of the committee to come and speak to us. And so many people are involved in this process. It's going to be beautiful. And I think that we have a lot of reasons to smile together as a people. Let's not be divided. Oh yeah. Afemai ununozedo. As somebody was trying to was it called derogatorily refer to them to the Benin speakers. It's a say. Okay, yes, probably it's a say. You understand? It's a say. If you son, if you one, if you afemai, if you kuku, all of us we must be in this together because You know, if a dough is good, it's not just good for one person, it will be good for everybody. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? So this is exactly the point I'm making. So we must take pride in what we have so that we don't lose it, because when we lose it, it would be difficult for us to find. It will be very difficult. So Edo people, I came out. I don't know if it's going to be this will be the last time on this subject matter, but definitely I cannot keep quiet. I don't expect anybody to keep quiet. Let's not be quiet. Let us rebuke all these people who are doing this nonsense, and let's preach to peace. Let's encourage each other. Because there are people who just listen to some of us speak like this, they just believe. They just take it and start acting on that. That it's not so. You understand what I'm saying now? So let's understand that we are all in this together. Because by the time you start preaching the narrative of Esan versus Edo, what do you want to happen between that man who is married to an Esan woman, or that woman, that man who is married to an Edo woman? What do you want them not to happen when they have children? You know, both families have become married to each other. What do you not want to happen? Why are we trying to give ourselves the names that we are not? So please, let us protect our interest as a people. Let us guide it as a people. The palace of the Oba Benin is a major interest that we must preserve, we must guide, we must protect. We cannot allow, people to just come out for whatever reason or purpose and begin to throw jibes unnecessarily. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's grossly unacceptable. We are monitoring. I come in peace. But why the hell where if you get to a point, if no man give you peace ita, or maybe na here. So that's what I want to make. So Edo people, I want to celebrate you guys at Edo at 30 years is coming up. These are some of our artifacts in British Museum that hopefully we are going to be expecting them very soon. Very, very soon. So let's enjoy the set. I'm compiling them. I'm doing research on them. As soon as I get that done holistically, we'll come and talk about it. You know, these are the ones they returned to Obaye Diawa. No, I think it was about Obaye Diawa they returned these ones to. And all of that. So we should take pride in who we are. Whether we like it or not, whether you believe it or not, we are a very great people. Edo, we are too great, but we don't understand it. We don't know. By the time we know what we carry, the grace we carry as a people, we probably will need to refrain from all of these distractions and get on. You understand what I'm saying now? And I must repeat it. Whenever I do rise up to say this is what we demand, and it's coming from the palace, believe me, we are getting it. Because we will be focused on one direction. It is what is making it difficult for it to happen in East, because there is no. I don't want to belabor that. Anyhow, my people, I want to thank you for those who've been part of this. People, I've seen a lot of comments. Eve Ike, thank you so very much for joining. My sister Doreen Amanta, I see you. Thank you, Doreen. Doreen, how are you doing? It's been a long time. Say Thomas, thank you for joining. OTT Wonder, I see you. Thank you. These are on Facebook. For all the comments, Igodo Migodo, look, every conversation will be accommodated if we treat ourselves with some respect. It will be accommodated. You understand what I'm saying? And there will be room to discuss everything, and stuff like that. OTT, thank you. Sunrise, kudos to you. Thank you so very much. God bless you. I know that we probably have a number of persons that did join us on YouTube, because we are live at the same time on YouTube. And I want to express gratitude to you guys. Of course, I see, yes, I see lots of people there. Yeah, thank you so very much. Yes, Edwin, thank you so very much for joining. Thanks a lot. Yes, Isoke Agbon, thank you. Wise One, Ima Agbidion. I see you guys on YouTube. You guys are just wonderful people. Thank you so very much for being part of this. Friday Igaro. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Anthony Ajibola, my brother. Thank you so very much for joining. Thank you so very much. So it's how it's been. Mama will know better. We're not just running 1 hour. I'm making a fan gear. So this is the matter. I don't know if it's the last time. If it's not even for me to come out again, I will still come out again. But on this note, I want to say a big thank you. Please, let's share the broadcast. Let it go around. Let it get to these sources so that they're making an end where, we are not with them. We are not with them. And let's be reminded, we are the united people of Great Benin Kingdom. It's not just one tribe. We are many. As time goes on, we'll begin to analyze this, okay? So that the hen must come to roost. The hen will come to roost. But remember that you are and you remain, part and parcel of the United Kingdom of Great Benin. That is who we are. Today we are those states, but we'll get every other people to be legal. We'll bring everybody together so that, so on that note, we refuse to be divided. I want to thank you all. May God bless you all. May God bless Edo State. May God bless the palace of the Oba Benin. May God bless the governor of Edo State and all Edo people. And may God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.
Oh, wait. Comrade Lante Oriente. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us. Follow us and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show. Wait. Comrade Lante Oriente.